parks like that. What a fucking asshole, you know? What's up, Bal? It's been a while since I've made a YouTube video, so like this is like learning Russian fluently for the first time and trying to speak it. This is just weird trying to do this again. I don't even know where to start. Tell them what the fuck has been going on for 3 years. Why you quit powerlifting? You can do it. It's not that hard. Just tell them what the fuck has been going on for the last 3 fucking years. Why you have made a fucking video. It's not that goddamn hard. Quit powerlifting, grew my hair back, went bald again, grew my hair back again. Lots changed in the past few years. So I stopped powerlifting mainly just because my body, it got to a point where I couldn't handle it anymore physically. Like my body was starting to really hurt from it. So I stopped recording YouTube videos in the summer of 2021, I'm pretty sure. 21 or 22, I think. Finally got a qualifying total from my first ever nationals. Got my first qualifying total the winter of whatever year that was. It felt great. I mean, I had to do 3 meets in a year just to get a qualifying total, and if you know anything about powerlifting, 3 meets in a year is a lot, especially if you're doing it with heavy loads. Every meet got heavier for me. You know, there was a point where it wasn't even strength was a problem. It was just breaking a mental barrier. All right, you know, you've missed your national qualifying total twice now. Barely, like by 2.5 kilos, if that, 5 kilos. We're talking minuscule numbers where I should have been in nationals for a long time. Finally got that total out of the way, and I had a really, really good first experience. There was a lot of cool people at that nationals. I know Sawyer Clatt was at my first nationals and the second nationals, I think, maybe even. And it was just really cool to see people just like come together, just see how good the sport was. It was really just eye-opening to see, all right, like, you know, we made it here. Like next year, let's make it a go to podium. And you know, I went to my first actual nationals a year later so that one was in Chicago, the second one was in Memphis. And I had a really, really good year of training. I did the New York State Prime Time, which was all the best athletes from New York State. And by all means, I was not one of the best New York State athletes for powerlifting by any means. I was not. There was a lot of people that got invited and declined the invite, and they just go down a list of names, and it basically was like almost like a Make-A-Wish meet for me. My qualifying total for nationals then That was the first and only time I pulled 7 in a meet. That was surreal, and it was kind of questionable, like whether I locked it out or not. I got the 2 white lights, so that's all I cared about, and went to nationals in Chicago, or Memphis later that year, where I had a whole about 8 months of prep, I think, maybe a little bit less, and then, you know, it was a really, 7-8 months of training, and then a few months of prep leading into that meet. I got super strong those training blocks. I kept my biggest weight out at 240 I weighed, and I squatted 700 pounds. I pulled over 7. I almost pulled 727. It was real smooth, and then I tore my thumb at the top, and that really was discouraging. Just because it's like, powerlifting is such a mental game where you're so hard on yourself and you want to get this and that number, and sometimes you just don't get it because either the strength's not there or your form just breaks down. And it was a surreal moment to go to nationals and be up there with the top powerlifting athletes. But it got to a point where my knees were so fucked up. I just remember squatting 700 pounds and my knee, I just heard a little pop, and I'm like, oh, that didn't sound too good. I didn't really do much about it though. That's the biggest thing. I probably should have done something about it. Who knows? Maybe I'd still be powerlifting if I actually got my injuries looked at properly. Honestly, I didn't want to be there, but I know I earned my spot to be there. So the right thing to do was just to go there, have a good meet, and do my best. And I think I knew deep down in my heart that this was my last powerlifting meet forever, if not for a very long time. Had a good meet. Didn't have the meet I wanted to have, but I went there. I still had a good meet. The weeks leading up, going to Memphis, I was icing my knees every single night. I have a cold plunge, and I couldn't use it. It was still, you know, hot here in Buffalo a little bit. Told my coach that I was gonna take some time, you know, get better, think about things, and just take a break from powerlifting. That's all my life was for 3.5 years. You know, a lot of people knew me as like, oh, Greg, you know, oh, hey, my friend can do this and that, and like, that's cool and everything. I always appreciate my friends saying like, oh, you know, I got a friend that can, you know, deadlift over 700 pounds or squat 700 pounds. Like, that's very humbling to hear, and very appreciating to hear from all my friends that think so highly of me. You know, oh, you're the strongest person I know, mentally, physically. And I had a lot of ups and downs in the past few years, and I think the moment I really knew I was done powerlifting, I went to the gym last year. I went to go squat 405, and it felt so fucking heavy. And it was just like, yeah, no, I'm done. I don't want this anymore. I did so much in 3.5 years of powerlifting. I went to 2 national level meets. I hit a lot of lifetime goals I didn't think I was gonna hit until like maybe my 30s. And I was hitting them in my early 20s. Now it's just on to bigger and better things with bodybuilding. Right now I'm like about 193, 194. I've dropped significantly in body weight. And I thought about it. I missed making videos. I missed making content. You know, I like doing content. You know, you live life once. Do the things that you love doing, because you might regret not doing them one day. And I miss making YouTube videos. Whether they're boring and I get 20 views on them, that's 20 people that watch the video. Whether if it's my friends or family watching them, like, that's still 20 people that are watching my videos. So I mean, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos again, just share my life journey, share my bodybuilding journey, and hope for the best.